Did you see all the far right violence at Jerusalem Day March?
You see, okay. That's all.
Was there any actual violence at the? Did any Jews perpetrate any actual acts of violence?
I mean, I know that most of the arrests were made actually hours before everything started.
No, but did any Jews actually do anything violent? No, it says, "Ooh, there's far right violence."
Were on the Times of Israel.
Uh,
Um, as far as the media is
Times of
concerned,
Israel saying that there was, the Jewish kids did acts of violence.
yeah.
Of course, I highly doubt that. You understand? Because Jewish people don't do that type of thing. It's funny. There are cameras all over the place, right? Everybody has cameras. This universe, there are cameras everywhere. Anything that happens, by the way, you have multiple camera angles. Like if someone sent me something to look at, and it was a woman getting killed. Okay, there was apparently some sort of train thing in Mexico. Okay, the train's finally coming through, so everybody wanted to get like right up to the train tracks and take a picture. Right before the train came, some woman just gets there with her picture, wants a selfie, and the train had this like big thing like hanging out, and it just like clobbered her, gone. Okay, and it was like the headlines like, "Oh, you think maybe she survived it? No, she's dead." Why'd someone send me this? The point was, apparently, this woman's tragic death was filmed. Film is the thing that used to be inside the camera. It means it was caught on video from many different angles live. Why do I say this? Because everything that happens in this universe today happens from many different camera angles. As a matter of fact, the Amalekites, when they started this war, they filmed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, filmed. They videoed it. They broadcast it across the internet for everybody to see. Well known act of savagery, documented from all angles. Yet one of the funny things when they talk about Jewish violence, especially extremist right-wing Jewish violence, settler violence, all these kids, everybody has smartphones. Everybody has all sorts of technology. You know what they never have of? You know it doesn't exist, but you can't really find settler violence. They usually have to fabricate it. You know why? Because it doesn't exist. Okay. Otherwise, you would have had something. A picture, some sort of video, something.
I think here there is a video of Scott.
By the way, hold on a second. They like to video things because when it shows the police being brutal to them, you also have plenty of documentation of that police brutality. What are you saying?
I know that in this case, I think they put some stuff of videos of scuffles, throwing stuff on the.
Okay, yeah, they try to things. Now, it does exist that there are Jews acting with bad midos. There are videos of that. And they're saying there was a thing that there was some sort of Galach, the Eastern Church type priest walking around the old city, and the real from-looking Jews did spit at his feet, not on him, but like that's the type of thing. It's usual, fiddler on the roof type of thing. That when you see Christianity and you're not afraid of it, so you do that. Yeah, that's bad midos. That's not violence. It was a Jewish person. I don't think it's ever really happened that a Jewish person, even remotely connected to God, okay, has accosted a Christian person. Okay, we don't do that, right? Okay, all those anti-Jewish, you know that. How many times have the Jews pogrom the Christians ever in history? Never, exactly, because Jews don't do things like that. Okay, that's the problem. I did see also something that was very well documented that went around was yesterday Yom Yerushalayim. A lot of people went to the Har-Bayis and they started doing a lot of Jewish things. They got away with waving the flags and davening and praying and bowing down. It was great. It was a wonder to see a whole group of Jewish youth who were praying and singing out loud. The entire service. The police can't stop them, too many of them, and then they prostrated themselves. Now, I'm just point out, someone should ask this, like I do every police officer and every security officer. Whenever you're asked to enforce a law that doesn't make sense, or just to enforce order, they say beat up Jews or arrest Jews who are doing things like praying out loud. Don't you ever feel bad about yourself and realize what kind of I ask every person I can, also the security people at the Temple Mount, I ask who I could speak to. I say, don't you see how awkward this is? Don't you see how foolish this is? You're being told that you have to force this. Do you think people like me and everybody else around you are a threat because we were praying above a certain decibel level? Or if I fall down on the floor on my knees, I'm going to be harming someone. It's a provocation of anybody. There's no one here for miles. And if I did it right over there, it would be totally fine. What's going on here? You don't realize the ridiculousness? No. So all these Jewish kids, they bowed down and they prayed and they got very excited. It was one big davening party on Har-Bayis. God bless them. It happened. So that shows the ridiculousness of whatever situation is going on there with regards to security people and the people who unfortunately get to call the shots and enforce things. However, and this is important, I am not happy with what they did on Har-Bayis. Why? Because a lot of these youths go on to Har Bayis. Yes, they've been to mikvah, but they're very unkept. They could all use a haircut or two. Yes, I know payas are nice, but God willing, once we have the base of mikdash back and people realize what's considered by Chazal standards to be decent grooming, they will groom themselves better. They will look cleaner. They will wear formal clothing. They were not wearing formal clothing. They're going to the temple. You should at least dress something like your Shabbos clothes or something. But they wear t-shirts. Like I said, it's not right. They wear shabby clothes. Now, if it was Tisha B'Av and they're going up there to say kinnis, I can understand it. Then Tisha B'Av, we wear shabby clothes, unfortunately, and we put ashes on our head and we sit on the floor because we are mourning. But this is a happy day, and they're going to the temple to pray, so they shouldn't be like that. So I wish that, God willing, as things improve, we have to get used to, like I said before, no t-shirts on Temple Mount, proper decorum. Decorum is very important. You can't join a Jewish mob like that. If you're going to pray on the Temple Mount, yes, you could sing to God with joy, read a few Tehillim. There's all sorts of things they would cry. Hariu Lashem, Kol Haaretz, doesn't necessarily mean with shofros. Most of the time it means, it means singing out loud. Hariu Lashem Kol Haaretz, that's what you should do. Okay? L'Ranein also. That's great, but we should do it with proper deference. We should do it with proper reverence, with proper respect. That's what we need to do. There's food, so you could eat it. That's my opinion of what went down then. And I just saw a headline that said, yes, there was right-wing extremist violence, right-wing violence at the yesterday. Yeah, right-wing violence at the flag march. Yeah. Interestingly enough, they always talk about settler violence, right-wing extremist violence, and hilltop youth violence. You know what they never have? Like I pointed out, video documentation of this stuff. Kind of weird with all these cameras around. You'd think that people could actually, just get a picture or two of something happening. Yeah, it's like this. It's like Bigfoot and the abominable snowman and the Loch Ness monster. They talk about it, but it's for some reason you just can't get you can't even get a single still photograph of the thing, despite their best efforts. It's definitely a conspiracy. The elders of Zion, we get together every week on Friday nights. We have our elders of Zion dinner, and when we're conspiring to somehow rule the world by having all this terror against us.
It's okay. Not Thursday nights with
No, that's just a few of us. I'm talking about the elders of Zion, but all the Jews. Every Jew observes Friday night.